Ditch or date. You're in a situationship, right? And you're not sure if you should continue to date this person or just say, you know what? I'm done. Hit us up at thebertshow.com. We call it Ditch or Date. Mo has the email.
Bert Show. I'm looking for your advice in my current dating situation. I live in a small town and I actually love it. I know the cliche is that most people like to leave their small hometown, but I love it. There can be drama and gossip, but for the most part, the good outweighs the bad. One of the quote-unquote bad is that you often end up in certain friend groups or cliques and it's hard to find new people to hang out with. Mm-hmm. So this can often make it harder to meet people and date people.
Yeah, once you get a reputation in a small town, man, it is really hard to reverse. It's got a lot of pluses, but there's so few people and everybody's grown up together and you're running in the same circles.
It's not even about reputation either. I mean, that plays a part, but also it's like, good luck finding somebody who hasn't, like, that hasn't hooked up with the person that you're wanting to hook up with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, recently, I started hanging out with some friends that I hadn't really hung out with since high school. They introduced me to Chad. Apparently, Chad had gone to school with us, all in elementary school, but he moved away when his parents got divorced. Well, his mom still lives in the same area, and he moved back to be closer to her. So he and I started hanging out, and we've really been having fun. I really like this guy, and actually have felt excited about the idea of being with someone seriously that I didn't have to move away to meet. Well, the other night, I met his mom. She recognized my name and knew exactly who I was. She then told me that my mom and his dad used to date pretty seriously in high school. I guess he went off to college and my mom met my dad. I asked if she thought that would be awkward for my parents, and she said she had no idea. She said she wasn't around back then to know firsthand what it was like between them or how it would be now. I decided to ask my aunt about my mom's relationship. She told me things had been really serious with them, and she thinks it could be an awkward situation for me to continue dating Chad. However, I like him. So what do I do? Do I risk it and hope our parents can be adults about this? Or do I need to end the situation?
Kristen, what are you going to do?
Date!
Yeah.
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 I mean, this was so long ago. This was when they were in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, once again, part of living in a small town, and you only have so many schools. And so your parents are going to, if you're the same age, your parents more than likely went to the same school. So they didn't end up together, which makes me think maybe the universe did that on purpose so you and Chad can end up together. I say date. I don't think it's a ditch scenario.
Mo?
Yeah, I think this one is pretty simple, so I'm actually trying to find a way to play devil's advocate here. I'm thinking, is it worth it, right? At this stage in your relationship, you just met him, you have an opportunity to leave. All of the Thanksgiving are going to be awkward. All of the family events are going to be awkward. Do you really want to put your mom in a situation where she has to go through that?
Well, so Chad's mom, the problem is every time she looks at her, she's going to see the woman her husband used to be in love with. Because that's her mom. So I feel like she's never going to be in good standing with Chad's mom because of her mom's relationship with Chad's dad.
Like, parents are going to be that petty?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
If the way it ended, depending on how it ended, yeah.
Like, based on my
Have you met
relationship, too many. Recently, too many, man. I would never assume that my son wouldn't date somebody based on a previous relationship I had with a parent of somebody he's dating. Never. I mean, for me, as a parent, all I want is my kid to be happy, right? If this is a person that makes you happy, I wouldn't even have feelings from way back in the day for someone that's so far back that it wouldn't even enter my mind.
I like to think I wouldn't either. I wouldn't care. But if this is like your dating antichrist, let's say it's that person and it just happens to be in this situation, I think a lot of adults would struggle with that and not be as mature as they would want to be if their kids were bringing home their kid.
I'm just thinking, like, if Hollis or Hayden brought somebody home and said, blah, 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 but I know that you hate their mother, but I've fallen in love with blank. I think I'd probably say exactly what you guys might have said. Man, I'll tell you what, family Thanksgivings are going to be weird, but you go do you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think any of that should come into play here. If she likes Chad, I say you continue to date. And I also think how the parents react, how they react speaks volumes of them, not you. So let them act however they want to act. But I wouldn't I wouldn't dismiss the relationship just because there's some history there between both your all's parents.
And I also think this is one of those things that if you do ditch Chad right here, you're like, you know what? I'm going to do the right thing. I'm just going to ditch Chad. It is going to eat at you and eat at you and eat at you. And you're always going to wonder what would have happened. And you're going to end up in the same place later on anyway.
That's fair. Yep. Yeah. No, date him. It'll work itself out. I don't think she should worry about it.
The Bert Show.
Like what you just watched, you can get more of The Bert Show on your favorite podcast platform. Wherever you listen to your podcast, you can find us. I don't know what any of these buttons do, by the way.